Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Cody.
And today we're here to remind you that people still believe the moon landing was fake. Today we're going to talk about movies The Relic.
I mean, they think and Trollhunter.
And Trollhunter.
I mean, people still think the Earth is flat. I know we say we're never going to touch on that, but
I know.
I mean, you started off with that one.
Look, here's the thing. Something has to happen for us to vent about it.
I know.
All right, but anyways, Cody, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I am good. Tired, but good.
Yeah. Well, what's something in love and something you hate?
I went first last time. You go this time.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I'm pretty sure I did.
I think you're lying.
No, because I went first, because then I also did Hellraiser first.
No.
Yes?
No.
Yes?
No.
Yes?
No.
Yes?
No.
Yes?
No.
Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Burp. You go, Cody. What's something you love, something you hate?
Something I love, couple things actually, like, I was able to treat myself a little bit today. I went to GameStop and
Treat yourself.
picked up Hyrule Warriors for my Switch, which is a lot of fun. I said that in the last episode, but I wanted to talk about it again, just cause.
You're on this podcast. You can talk about what you want.
I know. Hey, no man, I'm my own woman.
You don't need to prove yourself.
Also, they're doing like this big grab bag deal at GameStop where you get a tote bag and you put all kinds of collectibles in it. So I got a new Mario from Odyssey.
Nice.
Some Rick and Morty comics.
Nice.
I did say all that.
Yeah, you talked. Yeah, actually, you did talk about like all of that. I'm pretty sure our listeners are like, we get it. You got a Switch. Fucking great.
Just like people you would gloat about saying, I created Spider-Man. I got a Switch.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I'm not the one saying it. I'm just saying what a listener might be saying. Like, that's all, like, I'm getting at.
Also, had a pretty decent 4th of July. I had a lot of fun. I met Dev's, some more Dev's family, her aunt and uncle, and a couple of her cousins. Her aunt and uncle are awesome, by the way.
I hope so.
Really cool. Yeah,
I mean, they're right.
You've never met them.
They never made Spider-Man.
Neither did you.
You shut the hell up.
But no, yeah, they were really cool. Really, really welcoming, which is pretty nice.
Right.
Just because, like, some of my other exes, their family are kind of like, who the fuck is doing this girl now? Kind of thing. And they were just, like, actually really cool, really friendly.
Well, that's good.
They made me feel at home in their home. So it was, like, really nice, especially, like, on a... like on the holiday and stuff like that, like they were just very welcoming. They invited me over again for Thanksgiving, which I thought was pretty cool.
Good, so we don't have to burn down their house.
No, and you gave me a cat.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can't believe we're not even fucking talking about that.
Yeah, so I don't have a cat now.
I'm willing to bet most of our listeners give less shits about meeting Dev's family, are more excited about hearing about the cat.
Yeah, they're like,
put the cat on the podcast.
Yeah, her name's Patches. She's a long-haired calico. I was a little iffy about taking her, mostly because she was long hair and hair gets everywhere.
I mean,
but
no,
she's a good girl. I know, like, I haven't had her long yet, but it seems like she actually warmed up to the place pretty fast already. Because she was following me upstairs and stuff like that, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, it's because she connects with you.
Yeah,
you're human.
I'm her human now.
She'll probably attack Harrison, but
good.
She'll chew out
I'm gonna train her.
She'll chew on his eyeballs while he's sleeping.
I'm gonna put just one fish food on her and his eyes every night.
Oh god! You just see him like fly out of the room with like the cat attached on his face. He's like so comedic and falls down the stairs.
And I'm like, and that's why they call her Patches, because she's patched to your face.
She leaves you in patches.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous with Audrey just because she's still not quite gentle with animals quite yet. She doesn't understand that, but I think she'll be good with Patches. I know she met her once at your place. And
I don't think
nice.
Patches will claw her. If anything, she'll just punch Audrey.
I mean, I kind of hope she does, because then she'll learn her lesson quicker.
Right, just BAM!
Yeah. But yeah, no. So that's a couple things that I love right now. Oh, also our front room's finally getting together. I had to make Harrison clean with me, even though he had some time. I was like, all right, let's get clean, Harrison. Get your shit out of the front room. And then his biggest motivation was like, we're getting patches today. Oh, I should probably move my boxes, huh? Yeah.
You had a week.
I know.
You had a whole week.
Yep. And then something I hate is they're remaking Child's Play.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck?
And look, that would be enough, but
no, they decide. Okay, I'm gonna go off the entire concept of what made the first one so scary and everything isn't besides the fact that it's a living doll. It's also the fact that it's a living doll, like, hunting down this one kid. And so, like, and it's a kid who doesn't have very many friends, if any friends in the movie. I can't, if I remember right. And so, like, all the adults, like, when he's like, Chuck, he's alive, he's trying to kill me, they're like, oh, it's just your overactive imagination because you don't have friends. You know, it's like, that's actually a thing that people would normally pass off about. Like, you didn't realize. So you could connect to the parents, like, saying, like, the kid's, like, you're just having an overactive imagination. At the same time, like, that's what's scary about it. And also, it's the fact that it's a serial killer rapist who possesses the doll.
Yeah.
But no, the remake that MGM is trying to do sounds like hot garbage. And luckily, the only thing that's actually tied to the Chucky series is the fact that it's called Child's Play, and the doll's name is Chucky.
Right.
Like, that's it, because they can't get the rights, because Universal owns it.
Okay.
Owns the rights. They're like, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have a super smart doll, robotic doll. It's just going to be an AI that goes haywire. That's it. And it's chasing down a bunch of kids instead of the one kid. That's what made it scary, was the fact when the adults would finally realize the kid's not fucking crazy, it's too late because Chucky shoved a knife on your neck or pumped you full of hot air with a fucking bicycle pump until you died. But no, they just want to go and go, you know what, let's reboot it. Even though, also, the fucking Child's Play series is going strong.
Yeah.
Like, they just came out with Cult of Chucky, like, I think last year or 2 years ago. Great movie. It was really good. It went back to its scariness while keeping a little bit of the campiness. Like, my favorite line in the entire thing was when Chucky kills one of the mental patients. And by, like, slamming a fucking, like, oxygen tank on the ground, and it shoots up, breaks the skylight, and it decapitates the chick. He's just standing there and he goes, man, sometimes I scare myself. Like, he's just so taken aback by what just went down that he caused. And, like, and not only that, they're continuing the storyline. They're keeping the whole universe, like, they're not, like, rebooting it or anything. Like, it was, like, supposed to be a soft reboot with Curse of Chucky, but no, it wasn't. It was a continuation. And, like, and they're gonna bring back his and Tiff's child. And, like, they were talking about, they want to bring him back in the next movie, and then they're going to start a Chucky TV series that is continuing the story. It's not going to be a reboot of this series or anything. It's going to be like Ash vs. the Evil Dead, where it continued off from the end.
Okay.
So, like, there's no need or want of a reboot of Child's Play.
Right.
And let alone a garbage-sounding one. And Child's Play is one of my favorite horror anthologies.
I know. I'm sorry, buddy.
Like, fuck. Soon, like...
Fat cats can't help but touch what they want to touch.
Seriously, fat
They gotta ruin everything.
And it goes back to the whole, like, well, Hollywood has no creativity, so they're doing all these reboots. Fucking make a monster movie.
I suggest you tune into our Monday episode. And see where that leads into.
A lot of sidebars.
So much sidebar. The country of sidebar.
Yeah. So, So, what's something you love and hate?
Hold on.
Oh my god.
Sorry, tired.
It's the worst day ever.
Me too. I'm sorry.
Hate my line.
I'm sorry. Anyways. So the thing that I love is that, well, we mentioned it kind of here and there in the podcast that I graduated from college recently.
Yay.
But yeah, it's a good thing. But I recently got my diploma in the mail, and with it found out that I made the dean's list at my school, which is something I love. Well, so the reason I bring it up is because I'm not doing it for bragging rights, but more so
whatever you say.
Because so when I was younger, Let's take another dive into Matt's personal life. When I was younger, I actually suffered from very severe ADHD. And this isn't does he have ADHD? Maybe we should give him pills. He's flat out, he has fucking ADHD. He needs to be on some sort of medicine. And so the reason I bring that up is because when I was younger and in school and whatnot, I did really, really bad in school because I just couldn't focus and I couldn't take in info from school. It was hard for me to learn. So it was in special ed my entire life. And I'm not harping on, any parents who have their kids in special ed or those who were in special ed. The reason I'm bringing this all up is that my entire life with certain friends that I've hanged out with and certain people that have been around me in my life, they've always told me I was always going to be dumb and that I don't understand anything and I'm just not going to get it and that I'm just an idiot and that we always expect dumb stuff from you, Matt. And so, this was kind of nice to get the fact that I was able to get get on the dean's list because it's for me it shows that even somebody with severe ADHD like I have can even amount to something and actually get proof of it. And so that's kind of why I love it because it's all those people who I did consider my friends who at the time were saying I was too dumb and whatnot were wrong. I'm obviously smart. And I guess the point I'm trying to get at is for any of our listeners out there who do or know someone who suffers from ADHD or any real kind of mental disability in that chance or not chance, sorry, in that sense, just know that everyone around you who's telling you you're dumb and you're never going to understand anything and is just coming down on you are people that you should always forget about because they're only ever going to see in their own pessimistic views and their pessimistic way and that you're an amazing person and you're a lot goddamn smarter than they say. Because if I get on the dean's list, then I know all of you out there can get on the dean's list. So that's just kind of something I wanted to say that I would love, that I'm happy about. So
inspirational.
Thanks, man.
Just want to wipe a tear from my eye.
You fucking better. Pussy. No.
Bitch.
So the thing I hate, down here in Colorado, I don't know if it's been statewide or anything. There's this new aquarium that opened up around at a mall down here, Southwest Plaza, and I won't say the name of it due to just the fact that I don't know if it's going to get us in trouble if I do say the name. But what I will say is that you can make the name refers to the ocean and an adventure, so you go from there and figure that out. But the reason I bring it up is because I recently checked it out to see, because me and Lauren and Aaron were going to go there because we had a day off and we were just going to go hang out. And I looked up the reviews for it to try to figure out what we would be paying.
Yeah.
And it came really unsettling because, and I've looked at multiple reviews on different sites.
Yeah.
And aside from reviews saying the place is super expensive and a glorified gift shop, there's multiple reviews that are talking about the welfare of the animals. Mm-hmm. And so this whole place is like an aquarium and you can go and touch the animals and pet them. But there's an unsettling amount of reviews talking about how poorly the animals are treated, how poorly the staff takes care of them, and a lot of the animals are just in fear, and you can see them shook, and that they don't clean out the cages or tanks enough. And when people were making these complaints, the company kept responding with the same old copy and pasted, oh, we ensure that all of our animals, and that's what they're just saying over and over. They're not addressing an actual concern. They're just saying this very copy pasted PR statement.
Yeah.
And it's becoming really unsettling because it's I think there actually might be abused animals in this place because there isn't just one review. These are multiple reviews on different sites saying the same thing from different people.
Uh-huh.
And then even on top of that, find out that the person that owns this company has had lawsuits made against him in the past for supposed animal abuse.
Damn.
And so it just kind of makes me angry because it's like there's all this like concern and there's a spotlight, and there's all these unsettling things about like there's animal abuse here and people will still go to this. And it's just like there's a lot of fucking reviews say like people saying that these animals are abused, that like people are pulling out fish from the tanks and throwing them on the floor, grabbing sharks by the tail, like
Damn.
something needs to be fucking done about this place. And the name rhymes with cheese chest. So again, I'm trying to avoid saying the actual name of the place, but if you can figure out what it is from there, then I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But it just makes me so goddamn angry that the people that own this company are making money off animal suffering. And I understand I'm treading the line of saying like a diehard libtard, but I mean that's what some people might call me. But the fact of the matter is like there's fucking animals being fucking abused and not treated right, and there's concerns and no one's doing a goddamn thing about it.
Yeah.
And like it just makes me fucking angry because it's like I want to do something about it, but as far from like protesting it and signing petitions, there's not much I can do. And that's what's really frustrating because it's like they're protected by laws. It's corporate, and it just makes me so goddamn angry. And it makes me happy that I at least have like punk rock to rely on and just listen to like the Casualties and fucking Anti-Flag and just get my anger out that way, since I kind of can't really do anything to take this place down.
Yeah.
And it's because it's a double-edged sword, because even if like we get it shut down, it doesn't guarantee that those animals will go somewhere better.
Yeah.
And so that's something that's really unsettling and very frustrating. And so I hope that place starts treating their animals better and they start getting better reviews saying how well they treat their animals. Or at least they get shut down and those animals do get rescued and taken somewhere better.
Yeah.
So that's why something I love, something I hate. So
okay.
You doing all right there, champ? You're like staring at the wall.
I'm just letting you go.
You're just like looking at the wall, like
I know. I'm just judging Harrison on his movies.
All right then. Yeah, let's jump into it. It's your turn to go first this time, buddy.
Yay!
So I clicked on the wrong thing.
God damn it.
That's fuck me, right?
I know. All right, so I did a movie that I haven't really heard a whole lot of people talk about, but like I remember watching it a couple of years ago, and it was I loved it. I thought it was really, really good, done really, really well. It's called Trollhunter, and so the IMDb, yeah, right, BD.
IMDb.
DB. The IMDb page. So the synopsis is: a group of students investigates a series of mysterious bear killings, but learns that there are much more dangerous things going on. They start to follow a mysterious hunter, learning that he's actually a troll hunter. Dun dun dun. So it's a Norwegian film, so I'm gonna butcher the pronunciations of these.
All right, here we go.
Yep. The director and writer is Andre Ovredal.
Ovredal. Yeah.
Ovredal.
Works. Sounds correct to me.
I don't know. Ovredal. It stars Otto Jespersen, Robert Stollenberg, and Knut Nerum. I think that's how you say it. I don't know, but yeah.
Your guess is good as mine. Like, I'm not even gonna try.
Not even gonna touch on that. So yeah, I really like this movie. And I definitely think it's one of those kind of like, because I saw it on Netflix one day and I was just like looking for new movies to watch, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Kind of a weird concept because you don't really see trolls as like the real main antagonist of a movie. Like they're generally kind of like the troops of the Dark Lord, like stuff like that, or like they're the like one behemoth in like Resi 4,
or the one that gets killed in Lord of the Rings and that whole tomb.
Yep. So you never really see like or you know the like big bumbling thing in fucking Harry Potter.
Right. Well, it's nice that it's like they're actually focusing on this monster.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the cool thing about this movie is that it doesn't just delve into like one specific troll. Like it actually talks about.
Does it talk about the internet ones?
No.
Okay, I gotta go poop. I'll be back.
Oh my god, really?
Sorry.
Really?
I have sensitive bowels.
Whatever. Every time I'm doing my movie review, you go and poop.
You can poop during mine. It's okay.
No, it's alright. I respect your movie review and sit there for it.
I don't mind if you do.
Whatever. He's a liar. Anyway, so what I like about this movie is they actually did their research on trolls. So if you don't know, like they delve on their research about how to repel trolls and how to kill trolls in reality and stuff like that. Like so the hunter, he has like time on his RV on his RV, on his trailer, that when he's hunting trolls and stuff, and trolls are actually allergic to time. The only way to like sneak up on a troll is to smell like a troll. And then, so that was like just small little details throughout this movie is what I liked about it. And yeah, and so like another cool thing that I really liked about it is that the CG in this movie for these trolls is fantastic. Like, it literally looks like they're in the wilderness, that they're real. Like, the way that this movie is shot and just like how it goes throughout the whole thing, like, it actually makes you think that these trolls legitimately exist. I mean, you know, it's a fantasy and stuff like that, but like, just the way the CG is shot for the trolls and done, like, it literally looks like there's trolls living in Norway. And so, and I know this is one thing that might turn off some fans and stuff like that, is that it is a foreign film, so it's subbed, so you have to read subtitles throughout the film, but it doesn't really take you out of the experience. I actually kind of think that it drew me in a little bit, just because it was kind of nice to see like a well done like Norwegian film. Like I haven't seen a whole lot of Norway films based in Norway and stuff. And again, the whole thing that I liked about it too is that it delves deep into troll lore, because they don't even talk about just trolls. They don't call them just trolls. Like there's woodland trolls and mountain trolls. Like they actually have two different species of trolls, and then it talks about like different types of those type of trolls, and even though it's ridiculous because like the names of each species of troll is like pretty ridiculous. Like they're kind of like off the wall, like it kind of makes you giggle, but like the way they talk and act about them is like super crazy. And so that was like some of the things that why I liked about it. And also like it goes in depth about, like, it explains a lot of the stuff that happens in the movie really well, and it doesn't like, there's not a whole lot of things that kind of like get left unopened, a lot of questions that get left open about it. Yeah, and so what was another thing that I liked about it? Oh, yeah, sorry. So like they go in depth about things like, so for a troll, and troll lore, like they're allergic to the sun basically, and so like the way how he kills these trolls is he has to expose them to like super powerful ultra UV lights, basically like ones that you find in a tanning bed and stuff like that, like, you know, that pretty much produce the same energy and the same brightness as the sun. And it at one point in the movie it actually goes into really in depth about why they're allergic to the sun. So like while the sun like gives us vitamin C and produces like stuff like that, I don't know what vitamin C actually produces, but to trolls it produces, when they're exposed to sunlight, it produces calcium, and it makes it react really bad, hardcore. So to the point where like if it's a younger troll it'll explode, or if it's an older troll it'll turn them into stone. Because like in troll lore, that's what would happen. So that's one thing that I really liked about the movie, is that it actually it talks about the lore and it puts it into a real world basis, which is actually really they did a really good job with meshing it all.
Right.
From like, oh, Matt's back, by the way.
I'm back. I did my poop.
Yeah, he did his poop. Yeah, and so one thing that I found really funny is like kind of the halfway point of the movie. Is they make a ridiculous reference to the Three Billy Goats Gruff, because the guy has to hunt a certain troll to find out why it's sick and why it's out of its territory, and the way he had to lure the troll out is by putting 3 billy goats on a bridge, and the troll lived under the bridge.
So real quick, were you asking like what does vitamin C do for us in general or for them?
Us.
Oh, it just helps our immune system.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all it does.
Okay. So like,
I just wanted to help.
That's fine. And so, like, is it vitamin C? I don't know. Whatever the sun gives us.
It's vitamin C.
And vitamin C.
And
okay. All right, cool.
And sunburns, I guess.
And sunburns and skin cancer because everything gives us cancer.
And it is the natural repellent to goths.
Yep. All goths.
Goths in the sun.
Just hanging out in the sun.
It's actually a song from Karen Kilgariff, and I just love that song. Goths in the sun.
Goths in the sun. One thing that I liked, another thing I liked about the movie is the pacing. It is kind of a slow movie because they do go into detail about the lore of trolls, and how it affects it in the real world and stuff of this world. And so, like, if you're not, it's not for like a super fast paced action movie where you're expecting like this guy to come out with a Buster sword and start hacking up trolls.
I mean, I'm not against it if he does.
He doesn't. He uses UV guns. Basically, he has modified like weapons that just produce a shit ton of UV light. And so, one thing that I didn't like about it is like in the beginning. So the synopsis explains that the students are actually trying to investigate why all these bears are like being poached and stuff in this small little Norwegian town. But in the actual movie, they never say that. They never explain why. It shows them talking to bear hunters, and they talk about the Trollhunter, and like he's just some kind of bear poacher. Like all the hunters hate him and stuff like that. But the students, it never talks about why the students are trying to are doing what they're doing. They just start interviewing people, and then they just say that they're from college. They're from Volca College, and that they're just there. And so they end up stalking the hunter, and then like one of them gets bit by a troll. You don't see the troll that bites him, but he gets bit, and then like they talk to the hunter, and he's just like, "All right, fine, fuck it, follow me." And then like they join him, and then he talks about how to like hunt trolls a little bit. And so like that was one thing that like bugged me in the beginning. I was like, why the fuck are you just gonna be like, you know what, you've been pissing me off for the past couple of days. I guess you could come with me. Why not?
Originally, he was just gonna kill them.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh shit, they are real.
Well, they end up explaining it by saying he's like, well, I get no benefits from doing this. I get no extra pay since I have to work at night. Like, he's just like, I just get the shit end of the stick and hunt trolls is basically what he does. And he's like, maybe there's something that needs to change the management style, and you guys are going to put this on TV, right? And they're like, yeah. He's like, all right, fine, cool. Sounds good to me.
Hey, exposure can pay.
Yep. So
you're well aware of that.
Yeah. And so then they actually explain why there's a bunch of dead bears randomly in Norway is whenever he kills a troll, he calls pretty much like the government, the Norway's version of like animal control and stuff like that. And there's a guy that's in on it, and he's the head ranger of like all of Norway or whatever, and he's in on this. And they just pay these poachers to bring a dead bear, drop the bear where the troll died, shoot it to make it look like it got poached. And like it was really funny because he gets out these like modified like stilts with bear paws on them and just like walks and makes bear tracks.
Oh my god, it makes me think of that fucking scene from Super Troopers.
Yeah, with the giant where he's fucking the bear. Yeah, it's just really funny because like he just all of a sudden like pulls out these stilts with bear paws on him. He just starts walking through the forest with it. And so actually, you know what that makes me think of? Did you ever see that fucking it's an actual video from a news station where they're talking about like a rise in like bears like within their county. And it's like they're having a dramatization of it, and literally there's just a dude with like a cutout bear, and he's just like making it prance. like that makes me think of that. It was like it was a serious news thing, and then he just fucking had this dude like doing a dramatization of a fake bear prancing through like. Oh my god, that makes me think of that. Yeah. That was pretty good.
Sorry.
No, that's all good. But like, so this just kind of dawned on me how this is kind of a con for like this part is that, so like the guy knows that they're a news crew, like because they meet the head like ranger way early in the movie, and so he knows who these students are, and he sees them with the poacher, and instead of like, just doing something right then and there about the news crew, he just goes, I'm going to get those tapes, and then he walks away. Like, instead of just like, all right, give me your shit. Like, you're doing something completely illegal by knowing about this, like, thing that the government's trying to hide up. Like, why didn't he do anything right then and there? But no, he doesn't. And he sees him like several times, and he's just pissed off to see him, and he doesn't like just take their shit like right then and there, or like have him arrested right then and there.
Right.
Like he's just like, I'll get you kids later.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, basically. So like that's one thing. That's one loophole that I didn't like. It just kind of dawned on me. It's kind of ridiculous.
Stoop kid doesn't leave stoop.
And so, as much as they go into the like lore of trolls, there's one thing that bugs the crap out of me throughout the whole movie.
Okay.
Is that so when he first lets the students come on his hunts and stuff like that, he asks them, is like, are any of you Christian? Do you believe in God or Jesus or any of that? And it never explains. And he's like, because apparently trolls hate Christians.
Huh.
Yeah. And so like that was one thing that they never touch on throughout the whole movie. Like, it touches on again when you find out that the cameraman of the film crew was lying, and he said he's a Christian, when they're all, like, in this, like, layer of mountain trolls called Mountain Kings.
Okay.
And they all of a sudden, the trolls can start smelling him. It never explains why they can smell someone who's Christian or, like, believes in God. So, like, or is religious.
Smell the guilt?
I don't know. Like, that's one thing that bugged me that he never explains throughout the whole movie. Because, like, he asked them in the beginning, and none of the students go, why? Because, like, the two that you see mostly on camera, they're like, no, I'm not Christian. And that's it. Like, then they don't touch on it until the camera guy is like, I'm Christian. And, like, that's one thing that bugged me, is that he didn't come out and say it from the very beginning. Especially after they see the troll. Yeah. Like, they see this. So the first troll you actually see is a giant 3-headed troll, and it's really cool because like it looks like it's actually one of the trees, and then it starts walking. So this, like I said in the beginning of this, while you were pooping, is that the CG's done really well to where it looks like the trolls are actually living in Norway. Okay. And then that's one thing that I didn't like. It still kind of bugs me that they never explain why they hate Christians, and then so. Even though it's like super slow, the one scene in the whole movie that you actually have to see this movie for is it's near the somewhat beginning, is when it's their first interaction with a troll that you don't see the troll, and they followed the troll hunter into the woods and stuff like that, and then they start hearing grumbling, like the troll sounds and grumblings and stuff like that. Right. This dude the hunter kind of walks out of the forest and stuff. You could tell when they were making this film, he was just kind of standing on top of this hill, and they're like, okay, go. And he's slowly moving down the hill so he doesn't fall, because he's wearing all his equipment, and he just looks at him and goes, troll! And screams, and they all start running, and it's the greatest thing ever. Because it's really funny just seeing this old dude come out of nowhere and just yell, troll! And then everyone panics. It's just so good. And so that's a thing that I like. And then yeah, I mean, I didn't have too much to complain about this movie because it's done really well. And actually, so they figure out, and another thing that bugged me is, so when the cameraman finally sees the troll, when all the students finally sees the giant 3-headed troll, giant, because they're making fun of the troll hunter. They're like, you really believe in trolls? Oh, you're such an idiot. And then he has them stand in this wide open field, and he's like, I'll try and scare the troll out of here to show you guys. And they're making fun of we're probably on Punked or something. He's filming us laughing his ass off, and then they see the troll, and the cameraman's like, that wasn't a troll, that was some genetically mutated beast. It's like, bitch. You don't believe what you just saw? Fuck, man.
What beast would it be mutated from?
Yeah.
A fucking bear?
I know. It was a giant 80-foot fucking 3-headed troll. And
oh, that's Carl. He went missing last week. Hey, Carl, how's it going? Oh, no way.
Yeah. And one thing that was really cool is so when it does the government conspiracy stuff, they actually do it really good jobs, because at one point they go to this place called Jotunheim in Norway, so they're hunting a Jotun, which is a giant almost mountain-sized troll. And I just thought it was funny. I was like, Jotunheim, Norwegian lore. Get frost giant.
Oh, duh.
And so a frost giant's basically a troll.
Well, I feel dumb.
Yeah. But yeah, so they go there, and then he explains how the power lines that you see everywhere is actually electric fence for trolls. And so I was like thinking about, I was like, I wonder if they were just like driving to their next shooting location. They're like just like, oh, you know what? We should throw these like power lines in the middle of nowhere in here and like just like make something up about it. And then they go to the power plant and they're like, hey, has there been any disturbances of like with the power lines? Because they're like, and the guy goes, well, you see these power lines? They're in a giant circle. Do you know why they're in a giant circle? No, I thought it was kind of weird at once, but I just, I'm paid to be here and just make sure they're good. It's like, you don't want to know why power lines are in a circle. Because that doesn't make sense. They're supposed to be going, in a straight line. Yeah, basically. I thought that was kind of playing the bet. And so my biggest con with the movie, though, is at the end, it just kind of ends. So it kind of pulled that stupid fucking, what was that movie about the possessed lady? It was all like shaky cam, and at the very end, like they get in the car crash, it says go to this website, the cop out thing.
The fucking, what is it? It's something devil. Devil Inside.
Yeah, the Devil Inside. So it kind of pulled that to where like they're being chased. The students are finally being chased by the government, and then all of a sudden it just ends, and then it says like the students have never been seen before. Blah blah blah, and like it says, if you've ever seen any of them, please contact this. If you see a troll, contact them, because they're very real. And then they make a fake press conference of like the like, I don't know, the head person of like Norway. I don't know what they would call their like the president of Norway or whatever.
Illuminati?
Well, no, he's like sitting there and he's just like doing a regular press conference for all of Norway, just talking, and goes, and trolls are real in Norway, and then he like just says it so subtly, and you see the guy sitting next to him, like it's the head head dude that I was talking about before, and he's like looks like he just shit himself because he looks at him and goes, the fuck, like so like that's like the real ending of it, but like I didn't like the ending, but the rest of it's just great because it's so real. Like for 2 seconds when I first was watching this movie, I was like, is this shit real? Like, are trolls actually in Norway? Because the CG's done so well. This is one of the few movies that I would say that CG is done so well. Like it really like makes it look like they're in there. So, but yeah, I would, if you haven't seen it, I highly, highly recommend seeing this movie. It's really, really freaking good. It's on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, it's free on there. So, yeah.
So get on that.
Yep, get on it. Highly recommend it.
Solid review.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
I know. It's weird when you don't really have a whole lot of like cons.
I know. Well, I mean, that's a good thing, right? It's like
that means it's done really well, especially because like it wasn't like in theaters or shit like that. So
yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I need to finish it because I actually did start it. I just don't remember why I didn't finish it. I think I might have been too tired to watch it or something.
Sorry for kind of like spoiling the ending, but like it's been out since 2010, so
I'm not too worried.
It's still a really good movie.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's still enough in there that I want to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely.
All right, your turn.
So.
Oh wait, we didn't do any of the.
Oh yeah.
Things about
the interesting facts about the movie
about Trollhunter.
We gotta find it. Give me a second. Oh my god.
Dick Troll.
There we are.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, there's a thing about the Billy Goat's Gruff, but the film contains several references to old Scandinavian folklore. For example, the goats on a bridge and a troll under it is a reference to the Three Billy Goats Gruff. And at one point, Thomas mentions an eating competition, a reference to the story Ask Aladdin. Yeah, so sorry, I just want to go off of that. Is like during that point, like the Trollhunter is like fantasy and reality is like two entirely separate things. Like this is real. Shut the fuck up. Is basically like what he was saying to him. So that's what I thought was pretty good. Oh yeah, and so the look of the trolls in the film is influenced by painters like Theodor Kittelsen, Forest Troll, Christian Troll, Troll at the Karl Johan Street, and John Bauer. Root trolls, look at them, Mother Troll said ... Let's see, what's another one? Summit Entertainment bought the rights to produce an American remake before this film's initial release.
I wonder if they're ever gonna do it.
I don't know. I hope not, because I partly hope so, and I partly hope not, because like usually American releases about with these kind of things kind of like tend to tank because they will make it too like, you know, like actiony arcadey instead of like actually delving into the lore, because like we know American audiences, they want more action.
Yeah.
So I hope not, or at least I hope they like stick to something like that, because the slow pace actually really makes the movie a lot better. It needed the slow pace so it could delve into like.
Might throw in a Transformer or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. All right, then. We will jump into mine then in this case.
Yep.
So when I chose my movie, I was originally going to do The Host, which I'm going to save that for another episode that we're going to do. But I do recommend that still, but like I said, I'll save it for another episode.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, I wanted to kind of go back a little further to the 90s in this case, when like we still had some pretty good like monster creature features then that were a little low key, but you know, still good, because we had like Placid and fucking like Deep Blue Sea, so on and so forth, even like Arachnophobia if you want to consider it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to do something that kind of brings the enjoyment of a monster film. Just you enjoy watching it, and just it's a good rainy day film.
Yeah.
So I decided to do 1997's The Relic. So, Relic, which was directed by Peter Hyams, written by Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child, who did the novel, and the screenplay was Amy Holden Jones, John Raffo, Rick Jaffa, and Amanda Silver. And the movie stars Penelope Ann Miller, Tom Sizemore, and Linda Hunt. And the synopsis is: a homicide detective and an anthropologist try to destroy a South American lizard-like god who is on a people-eating rampage in a Chicago museum. So, let's dive into it. So, first off, as always, starting with my pros, I love that in this movie, the female protagonist, Penelope Ann Miller's character, is she actually is in like a really cool like job because she's an evolutionary biologist. And the reason like I made that a pro is because I feel like back in the 90s, like we still had like this weird mix of like female protagonists who like kind of just did like normal everyday jobs and like never really seen them in like a smart role, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I liked that like it was the female hero or protagonist, you know, is an evolutionary biologist. Like she's actually smart. She's not a ditzy like go save me kind of, you know, girl. So I like that. Going forward, this movie is absolutely perfectly campy.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't really get a good like quote to show that, because this whole movie throughout the entire thing is just like ridiculously campy, and I love it. And it definitely gives you the whole like late 90s, early 90s like horror movie feel of those campy films where it's just like dorky dialogue between two characters throughout the entire movie. And I love that aspect of it, and even the campiness with explaining the origin of the monster, like I love it. I just love that. And for this movie, it actually has some pretty good gore. I'm not gonna lie. So the biggest like kink that this monster has is he loves ripping heads off of people. And there's actually a scene where like I think it's like one of the SWAT guys comes down and is trying to like breaks in through a window, right? And then fucking Relic, the monster, fucking is chasing him down, grabs him, and has like these tusks, right? And rips his head off, and it shows the whole thing. Except it's not like a spurt of blood, it just kind of... so that was pretty funny, but like it has like some pretty good gore. Like even in the beginning of the movie, the security guard who gets killed in the bathroom, like there's like blood all over the wall and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's actually pretty good. And then even like there was a part where it was okay, so I remember now. So it was when Tom Sizemore's character was investigating the ship that the monster came on, right? Mm-hmm. And like opens up a hatch, and in the hatch is filled with water, and in the water is like pieces of people, just like dismembered body parts everywhere, right?
Jesus.
And so like, you know how like horror movies will just like zoom in like a disembodied like like a dead body or a disembodied body part and does like screeching music.
Yeah.
Every time it zooms in, and maybe does it once or twice. This one does it like 5 times and actually gets you to look at all the dismembered body parts and like the severed head, like, and I actually like that. So it's actually pretty good gore for like a 1997 like horror monster flick. And then there's a part in this movie where they're in the forensic pathologist's office, the morgue, and they're looking at one of the dead bodies, right? Or no, they're looking at the dead body of the security guard. Sorry. And so they're looking at the dead body of the security guard, and I'm not going to give it away because that scene is so goddamn funny, because the forensic pathologist, she is literally the sass queen the entire time and just belittles Tom Sizemore's character, and fucking she's like, yeah, that's a brain that's fucking dead, but it's not dead the right way. Of course I would know that because I'm fucking good at my job, unlike you, Tom. So I just love her in that, and this whole movie kind of like has that feel throughout the movie where it's like the men are really smart, like Tom Sizemore, he's like a really good investigator, like he does a good job,
Yeah.
but the women tend to be a lot smarter. So Penelope Ann Miller, she's an evolutionary biologist. The forensic pathologist, she's a female. The woman who runs the whole museum is a female as well, like obviously because I said woman, and it's like you see a lot of like prominent female characters more than male characters throughout this whole movie, because like cool. Besides like Tom Sizemore, I think there's maybe only one other male character who's like a good guy throughout the whole movie that you actually like, you know, and it's like it was just nice to see that, you know, especially for like a late 90s flick.
Yeah.
And then
again, going on the whole thing, horror movies have been doing strong female protagonists.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about since like episode 3.
Yeah, seriously.
Aaron knows.
Yeah, the Matt Cooper. Have to throw one in there almost at least once an episode.
At least once. So we're it also kind of like it teeters on the edge of like good and bad CG, and I made it both a pro and a con. So reason the pro that the CG isn't bad is, so at first it was really bugging the shit out of me because a lot of this movie has like a lot of dark lighting, and I hate it when movies just have dark lighting and I can't really see what's going on.
Yeah.
And so
it's almost kind of a cop out.
Yeah. But then I kind of realized why they did the dark lighting, and I don't know if they fully admitted this or like anything, but the dark lighting makes up for the CG.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier to have a CG monster in a dark lighted area. And it makes it look more real, more intense. And so that's why I'm making that part a pro, because when the monster is CG'd and in a darkened area of the movie, it looks more real.
Okay.
Like, it looks a lot better that way.
Yeah.
So, and I'll come back to that in a second, but going on to my cons now. This movie is definitely a bit slowly paced. So, it's...
Yeah, we both picked slow-paced ones.
Well, this one's like... And again, I always do this. This movie's almost 2 hours long. It's an hour and 40 minutes.
Mine was longer. Mine was an hour 43.
Oh! But still. So it's just really slowly paced, because when there's not really anything going on in the museum with the monster, the investigation, like, they spend too much time on it. And a lot of scenes. They just spend way too much time, and there's just a lot of talking. So it kind of takes you out of it here and there. And for me, that's a con. I know a lot of people do like that. They like that established character. They like the story to be built up. But I know even like in our Monday episode, we talked about, the tension being built up for, a good monster reveal.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like that sometimes the build up takes too long in this movie. So I am making that a con. And so coming back to the lighting in this movie, sometimes it's just too dark, and it's just hard to see what is going on. And I don't know, maybe it could have just been like my TV setting, because once I increased the brightness to a higher level, I was able to see the actors a lot more. Yeah. But then again, I'm just like, it could also be just because like it doesn't stand well on like flat screens like modern TVs. Yeah. And so like maybe that could be it, but I'm still holding against it because it's just a really lot of dark lighting throughout the movie. Don't let that deter you from watching this still, because it's still worth it, but it's just something I had to put down. And the kind of like slow pace it is, it's that when I originally read a little bit about this movie on the website Bloody Disgusting, the amazing people over at Bloody Disgusting, shout out.
Yeah, I like their articles. They do such a good job.
Yeah, they really do. They described it as like Jaws in a museum, but I more saw it as Law and Order with a monster. Because they do so much emphasis. Exactly. Like they do so much emphasis on like the investigation side that it looks like it could be an episode of Law and Order, and then it's just like it makes me think of like way back then when Cops did the crossover episode with X-Files.
Yeah.
And that's just,
yeah, I totally forgot about that.
I love that. I loved that.
Oh my god.
It's so weird. I love it. But anyways, so that's kind of.
Damn, that was a good.
We gotta
episode.
Watch that.
I know.
We gotta watch that.
I want to rewatch that because I remember liking it a lot, but it's I totally.
It's like such a rare gem.
I know.
But that's kind of what comes off as like Law and Order with a monster. So then I just imagine like it being Law and Order SVU.
Yeah, every time the monster like kills someone, dun dun
dun dun. And then I just have it's like that's what I'm saying, like Law and Order SVU, and so like I just imagine like them in the court with like the monster sitting like on trial, like, did you rape this girl? I plead the fifth. Like, that's just kind of what I imagine. And I'm not making light of rape or anything like that. It's kind of the feel you get throughout this movie is that it's a Law and Order episode. So, continuing forward. And it doesn't, like, there's a scene where, like, the power in the building shuts down. Mm-hmm. And they don't really explain why it shuts down. It's just a generator blows. Huh. And it doesn't, like, really, like, say why the generator blew. Like, did the monster throw a stick in it? Did fucking, like, someone leave their laptop on? I mean, I don't know. Like, they're just, like, just all the power goes out.
Yeah.
Like, and they don't explain why. So unless it was something I missed, it just kind of happens. And then they're at the point where, like, they get some goop from the monster.
Yeah.
And so they start analyzing the sample, right? To figure out what the monster is. And this always kind of bothered me in movies. Whenever it's a scientist, like, scene and they're analyzing anything. So Penelope Ann Miller's character, she's literally talking about how she's analyzing the sample the entire time that she's doing it. And I'm like, do we really need to know the whole process? Like, yeah, it's cool, but I feel like the investigator's just there like, that's fucking cool. Can we figure out what's going on with this shit so I can fucking know what to do? Like, I usually stop robbers and rapists and stuff. This is a fucking monster. Like, I don't need to know your whole process. Like,
dun, dun.
Like, I understand they're doing it for the audience so the audience knows what's going on. But at the same time, I'm just like, I think there's more important things than having to explain your whole analyzing process of the sample. And then kind of going forward to the final confrontation with the beast, the Relic. She meets... So, Penelope Ann Miller meets up with the monster in, like, the lab, right?
Yeah.
But before she even gets there, she starts running away from the monster and slamming wooden doors behind her. Now, the reason I made this a con is because earlier in the movie, the same monster was knocking down a steel-bolted door. And she's taking time closing wooden doors.
Maybe it's just like the original Green Lantern. Wood is his weakness.
No, like, and guess what the monster does? Literally plows through all of them. And I'm just like, I feel like you could have saved so much more time by not closing every single door that you're running through. Instead, he's just like, that's cute. And just like fucking plows through it. And that just kind of like annoyed the shit out of me during the entire time that happened. But, and that's the thing, like, that's kind of it for the cons. Like, same with my movie. It wasn't, like, it was campy. It was perfectly campy, and I had to force myself to find some cons about this movie. And if I didn't do that, I would have only had, like, 3 bad things to say.
Yeah.
Like, this movie's actually pretty solid. Like, it's really good. Especially for a rainy day film. And I recommend watching this before you watch Trollhunter. That way you can, like, get your appetizer before you get to the main course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do have a couple WTFs though with this. So, and skibbity boop bop 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 bop
get on with it.
Sorry. So, in the very beginning of this movie, at the very beginning of this movie, right?
Uh-huh.
It takes place in this village, a South American village. or I can't remember, South African or South American village, and you see this like fucking this tourist dude, just like this adventurer. He's just like sitting around with like his friend, like the tribeman, like around a fire, and he's just like, "This sure is rad, guys. I'm sure glad you invited me to hang out." You know, and he like takes some drugs that they make or some sort of like drink, or I don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
And then the dumbest thing fucking happens. So one of the tribesmen like dresses up like as like a parody of the monster. Right? Has like a full on like what is it? Headdress to like depict its tusks and everything. Yeah. It starts crawling all fours and crawls closer and closer to the white guy, right? Yeah. The tourist, and the white guy's just like, ah. So here we're gonna act this out. I want you, Cody, to growl like a monster, okay? And then I will respond the way this guy in the movie responded, okay?
Rawr.
Okay, no, give me a good growler here. Oh my God! What? No! Ah! Ah! That is literally what happens in the fucking beginning, and I'm just like, fucking white people. It's just he overreacts on about it. He's like, no. All right. I'm just like, okay, calm down. Calm down, John. You're gonna make it through, I swear.
It's okay, John. It's not real.
And then
that sounds like something Harrison would do.
Love you, buddy. And then so fast forward back into the movie where like the SWAT and like military finally come to like invade and come in and save the day, right?
Yeah.
So this is like shortly after the scene where I told you about where the monster pops off the dude's head.
Yeah.
And shows you the whole scene. So one of the other SWAT guys is trying to get back up. He's like, "Get me the fuck out of here!"
Yeah.
Right. So it gets to the top, but the monster cuts him in half. So they only pull out the top half of his body, right?
Yeah.
And then the fucking dude, like his fucking comrade, has standing on one knee and leaning on the other, or standing on one foot and leaning on one knee, right? Does a whole con moment of just like, no! Like, arms are spread, looks up to the sky and just, no!
He had 2 days before retirement.
And I'm just like, fucking white people. No, I'm just playing. No, no, I really am. It's a fucking those are my WTF moments for that movie. But as I said, this is actually a really solid rainy day movie. Like, it has good gore. It's perfectly campy. It's worth it to just sit down with someone or by yourself and smoke a doobie, drink a little bit, fucking make yourself some chicken noodle soup. Do whatever you want to do.
Smoke a doobie?
Smoke a doobie.
You sound whiter than I do.
I'm just trying to keep it balanced here. But no, seriously, Jesus. Like, roll up in a blanket to this movie and just watch it, because it's definitely worth your time, especially since now, if you're a Prime member on Amazon, you can get it for free. Like, it's a good movie, and I really suggest that you guys give it a shot and give it a look. So, my interesting facts for this movie is that Harrison Ford was director Peter Hyams' first choice for the lead role of Vincent D'Agosta, which is Tom Sizemore's character. So just imagine Han Solo being in this movie, right?
Get out of my museum.
Han shot first.
Yeah.
Vincent shot first. Because of the novel portrayed the museum's administration in an unflattering light, they turned the film's producers down. Paramount Pictures offered the museum a 7-figure sum of money to film there, but the administration was worried that the monster movie would scare kids away from the museum. The producers were faced with the problem, as only museums in Chicago and Washington, D.C. resemble the one in New York. The Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago loved the premise and allowed them to shoot there.
Huh.
Yeah.
I was thinking, for a museum getting offered, 7 figures, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it.
Just fuck the kids.
Yeah, seriously. We're not going to make that much money off of fucking kids.
The preparation for the fictional elixir given to John Whitney, that's the guy I was telling you about in the beginning of the movie who freaked out. Mm-hmm. given to John Whitney by the Amazon tribesmen, and the ceremony surrounding it strongly parallels the real life consumption of ayahuasca, psychoactive tea used religiously by numerous Amazon tribes.
So that's why he freaked the fuck out so bad. He was on psycho drugs.
I mean, it was still funny. And I'm still holding it up there. And then the improvised explosive Margot makes using 2 jars is very similar to the one made by Jean-Claude Van Damme's character in Sudden Death, director Peter Hyam's previous film.
Oh.
So,
I mean, if it ain't broke,
don't fix it. And this was also Audra Lindley's last feature film. So, fun facts. I picked it. I felt like it was a good choice to pick a simple, campy monster movie because I mean that's what some of the best ones are, like campy ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
we are at our hour mark.
Yay!
So before we leave today, guys, we do kind of want to make an announcement for the future. These past 2 months, we honestly have put a lot on our plate. Probably a little more than we should have. But things are starting to even out and flow a lot more naturally for us now. And with that, you know, we're not upset with you guys, or we're not like leaving the podcast or anything like that. But we do want you guys to know that in December, we're going to be taking the whole month off to spend time with our family and friends. Mm-hmm. And we'll be coming back fresh in January. So
this is still a little ways off.
But we want to give you guys a heads up now, so it's not like the month before and you're just like caught off guard or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But we will be taking that month off. But what we will be doing, and we'll post it on our Facebook and Twitter, is that we're going to try to leave you guys with some content. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you guys to participate in this and find and pick some of your favorite clips from all of our episodes that you felt were the funniest, the most entertaining, just any of your favorites, and send them to us on a Facebook post, on Twitter, hashtag officialphp, and we're going to just kind of make like a best of the year episodes for you guys and just kind of reminisce on the year. So that's all we're going to really say for now. We might do something else, but that is what we're mainly planning. That being said, as well with our band interviews, thank you again to all of our bands that have come on and have been interviewed on the podcast. It's been an absolute honor, and we love you guys. Yeah. It seems to be doing very well, but in November, was it November or October? I think October
is. Well, yeah, I think October is going to be the.
Yeah, the October is going to be the last month that we have band interviews, so there won't be any band interviews in November. And then so that's just kind of like what our plan is looking for the next couple months coming up, guys. So, like we said, thank you to all of you for tuning in. And if you have some clips that you felt that were your favorites and that you guys really loved, let us know the timing mark so we can grab them, and let us know why you loved them. And we'll, like I said, we'll make like a whole best of kind of episode for everyone. And I think we're going to maybe try to do a special recording for December. Did we decide if we're going to do that?
No, not quite yet.
Okay, so we'll let you guys know on that. But thank you again, guys, so much for tuning in to us every other week and hearing us talk about everything from controversial matters to dumb dick jokes. So...
a lot of poop jokes.
Oh my god, all the poop jokes. So, again, if you want to keep up with everything we're doing, please like us and follow us on Facebook, punkrockhorrorpodcast, and our Twitter at officialphp.
And on Instagram, punkrockhorrorpodcast, hashtag PHP podcast.
And if you're a band that does want to come on in the future, please send us your band info at our email, punkrockhorrorpodcast@gmail.com. And if you have any more strange stories you guys want to send us, please send it to our email as well. With that being said, if you guys like what we're doing and you want to support us, please head on over to our Patreon. And that's it for me.
Yep. Should we talk about our next couple episodes? Why they're going to be so special?
No. Let's keep everyone surprised.
All right, fine. You're gonna be on edge.
You guys are gonna like it. It's gonna be some great work.
Yeah.
So, all right, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Podcast over.
Podcast over.